Good morning, crafty friends. This is Maria over at She's a Creative Girl. So, we're going to start this process. As one of the things that I wanted to do is decide what I was going to do. So, I have these two journals that I got at Joann's when I used to work there. I went ahead and went through the process of tearing one of these books up completely, ripping out the guts and undoing the papers and measuring and all that. But it turns out that I'm only going to use the one that's on the left, the one that's got the floral print on it. But I'm going ahead and we're going to start off by measuring the book size so that we can kind of know what kind of topper size we're going to put on the book. So this is the one that I ended up using. So the book measures about 5.5 inches wide and about 8 inches high. So obviously the pages on the inside are going to be a little bit smaller than that. So when you cut out your topper, just kind of make sure that it covers the book and doesn't go over. It's okay if it goes a little under, a little bit shorter than the book, but just make sure it doesn't go over. So here I am playing around with the photos that I printed. I did print these on two different sizes. I printed on the back and the front of the paper. I am using photo mat paper for this. So if you're wondering why the pages look so sharp or the pictures look so sharp, the paper makes a huge difference. So here I am just going to cut off and try to distress the photo as best I can without ruining it. But I'm just measuring down using my ruler to cut it out and just have some torn edges, make it look kind of shabby. So for this size notebook, the picture measures 3 by about 4 inches high. So it all depends on your actual book that you use. So this is not the page that I ended up putting on there, but this is the guts from that blue book that I used. I'm just checking my measuring here. Always measure, measure, measure. So here I'm just distressing the photo with my distress tool. I am going to probably add a little bit more distressing to it once I have it on the book. So like I said at the beginning, I ended up using a piece of just packaging from some stuff that I had done for Cynthia at the store. I had some leftover packaging and I just thought the colors were pretty. They had some pinks in it. Of course, I'm shabby. I love the pink. It's always got to have something pink in there, even though I try. It's either going to be neutral or pink. So I'm kind of measuring out the mat for the photo here. So you use whatever size mat you like, but just make sure it doesn't go off the page for the photo. So I'm trying to like center it as far as the size goes. I'm trying to center it like on the book cover. So I'm using the rulers basically to kind of trim around it. And then I'm going to be using my distress rulers to rip the edges, to have that ripped edge effect. So I have about 3 different kinds. I just kind of intermingle them all together and just use one here, one over there. Sometimes I have different edges on my stuff. Here again, one of the things that I liked about this particular packaging paper, it was the color palette at the bottom. I thought that would be something fun that I could use. So I'm trying to make it show, and at the end, it turns out I don't even use it. So either way, if you find something interesting in your pattern paper that you're using, just go with it. Just do whatever you feel is going to look good on your book. So here I'm just kind of playing around with the position of where I'm going to put the picture because I wanted the pink base to be a little bit kind of catty corner, and maybe then have the photo be straighter on the book page. But either way, just kind of do what looks good for you on your book, because obviously if you're using a bigger book, it's going to make a huge difference. It's not going to look like mine. Yours may have a bigger mat. You may even kind of toy with the idea of using several mats. Like, let's say you're using a composition notebook, you can have 2 or 3 mats on your as your base before you put your picture on there, because you have more room on your book. You're able to do that. So here I'm just distressing it just a little bit more before we continue. And I'm going to start building my layers on the cover. So like I said, I like to add texture, and I did take that other book apart and I used the material that they used to bind the book together, just playing around because I know I'm probably going to use it somewhere on this book cover. And of course that muslin, I love the color. I like that I don't have to tea dye it or coffee dye it. So I want some of the fabric, like the tulle and the cheesecloth, to kind of come out through behind the picture. And that's what I'm kind of looking at here. I'm just kind of looking at the color to see how it's going to look. And at the end, I ended up not using the white. I did go with the cream colored one to kind of keep it a little bit on the neutral side and kind of mix it in so it's not like a bright, stark white. Otherwise, if I'd used everything white, yes, it would have looked shabby. It still will look cute, but I wanted a little bit of neutral in there as well. I decided that I'm going to make a book topper. That way, if I use this book or if I use a cigar box or anything else, it's going to work just fine. So I'm going to commit myself to cutting up my cardboard today. So all I did was use a piece of cardboard that was going to be big enough to cover this book. I may cover the book with fabric because I might do some tearing on the cover. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up and just make a little mark on it so that I can cut it. I don't have any of my tools here right now because I left them at our store. We're having a crop today and I took my entire kit over there. So let me find me another pair of scissors. I don't know if these will do any good, but we'll see. So I remember that I had started putting away some black and white pictures from like my family, and I did find a picture that I had asked my mom to send to me of when she was a little girl, because you know I may make 2 of these and just cover another book. Okay. All right, so there's that, and I'm not sure where I'm going with this again. So but one of the things that I do like to do is take my boxes and just tear them up. So I may put some fabric, like I said, but I do want to at least peel off some of this first layer here. Give me some glasses. Need my coffee. So how are you guys doing this morning? Well, this is taking a little longer than expected. Anyway, I just want to expose, and I may even paint. Just do some finger painting and rub a little bit of gesso or white paint on the edges. Okay, I'll be fighting with this off camera, and then I'll just show you what I did. might be better if I come this direction down. So I got this, I just got a new calyx unit for my room. That's why it looks so organized and neat. And I used the box that it came in for this. Okay, well, it is a little easier to peel back from this direction. There we go. Big chunks, please. You guys, I know you're probably looking at my nails. No, I don't like to get manicures, and this is why. I know I've seen a lot of people doing videos, and then people are asking me, what nail color you use? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing all that. I'm so sorry. I love you guys, but yeah, it's just not worth it for me because I have my hands in this stuff and glue. I'm always in the garden, get my hands dirty, working in the garage or something, and it's just not worth it for me, not unless I'm taking a trip, something like that. But every now and then when they do start to grow back, I may polish them, but anyway, that's a good start, okay? Because we're going to be covering the middle part, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay, so that's going to cover the front. And I may do some tearing on the side. So let's take a look. I'm going to commit to cutting up. Let me move all this out of here. I'm going to commit to cutting up the tulle. And if I feel like I need to put a piece of fabric under there, or maybe some vintage paper or something, or layer the fabric up, I will do that. So this is going to be this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little snip over here on this corner and just see if it'll tear all the way across. And I did. Okay, perfect. All right, so there is that. Yeah, I need a little bit more this way. But I'm afraid it's going to get too short if I do that because it didn't come out straight. So I'm going to damage the tulle with my scissor. Make it look ratty. I don't want it to get too close. Yeah, all my good scissors are in my toolkit, and my toolkit is at the store. Okay, I'm gonna save that for something. All right, so I like that. So I just don't like this neat line, so I'm gonna damage the end of this. Just gonna see if I can pull it apart and cut at the same time. And then if it's still too straight, I will probably try to wait until I get to the store and get my good stuff. Get my good scissors. There we go. I also have, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Buckram. So when I used to make dolls, I used to make their hats sometimes. And I used this thing that looks like tulle. I'll show it to you in a minute, but it's really stiff. And I was able to shape their little hats with that. Yes. Okay. Let's see. So I may be putting an extra piece of something in there if this is too light. I do have some vintage placemats that I may use to cover the entire book, front and back. I also have some vintage hankies. That might work too. And of course, I've got the doilies, tons of doilies. Okay, let's do this. I like. Okay, so that is this fabric here. Let me put this out of the way. Now I'm going to take my cream colored muslin here, or cheesecloth. I may have to do 2 layers of this. Yes, I do think 2 layers is good to be good. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. It's almost you can't see the tool underneath, so that's okay. We'll figure it out. We figure it out as we go because I have no plan. I'm just messing around. Oh Lord Jesus, somebody buy me some new scissors. Okay. So I can't believe it's already August. It's my birthday month. And I will be going on a cruise at the end of the month. So excited. But this summer is just gone way too fast. I know, you're probably thinking, why are you still using those scissors if it's that bad? Well, you know why? Because the scissors are so messed up that it's damaging my fabric just right. That's why. All right, so here's that. Let me stretch this out a little bit. Try the 1 layer first and see how it looks, because I may just have to put a doily underneath all this stuff here. I do like. Okay, I'm gonna make this one just slightly shorter. Oh, this thing has a mind of its own. Oh, I love that. Okay. Love, 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 love. Ah, just getting hung up on my dry cuticles. Okay, that's that. Okay. All right, then I think I want to put this, but I'm thinking I may want to burn the edges a little bit. So let me play with this layout. Dang it, I lost that little piece of silk that had that snap on it. You guys, look what I found in my stash. I know I was supposed to stop looking, but this was so cute. Maybe that'll go in there, I don't know. Okay, looks like I lost my snap, so maybe I'll look for a button or something to put in there. Okay, so I want to show you the picture of my mom. So I told her to send me a copy. What does she do? She goes to Kinko's or something and just makes a regular paper copy. I'm like, no, girlfriend. I need that a little bit better quality. But this is my mom when she was 2 years old. I just love this picture. But that'd be cute too. I'm going to make another one. Of my mommy. Okay, so that is that. So I'm going to do something. I'm gonna burn the edge of this leftover piece before I commit to that piece right there. So let me show you what I've done. I have this little Dollar Tree lighter. It's pink. I just had to have it because it's pink. So to do this, what I do is kind of like burn the edges of the paper. Just for them to turn just a little brown. So I had taught one of my junk journals at the store, and one of my customers there, oh my God. Hey, Belinda, if you're watching, she took her paper, like the paper pages, and did this because it was a Halloween. It was a Halloween book, and she actually like made holes through the paper. That was so cool. But yeah, I love it when my students make it their own. Hey, shh, quiet. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it, so I'm going to go ahead and do this on this paper here. Mia, she doesn't like the lighter. Sorry, y'all. I don't want to like burn it, even though that might be cool, but because I'm not doing grungy, just enough. Mia, hush. Mia, hush. That was hot. I'll make sure I don't burn my house down. Definitely recommend and watch what you're doing. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this in your craft room, go outside. Okay, I think that's enough. All right, let's see how this looks. There. I think I'm going to want to lift this up a little bit. I just need for it to have a little bit more dimension. Okay, that looks cute there. I'm going to, I don't know, should I burn the edges of this paper or should I ink it? I'm afraid to ruin it. So I printed these on photomat paper. So I had printed it. This is the other one that she had. It was so cute. That's her sister and that's her back here. And she still looks the same. But, I think I'm going to ink this one. All right. So now I'm going to place my stuff. Let me do my lace first. So this vintage eyelet looks too new. I'm just going to wrinkle it a little bit. I could spray some water on it too and make it go a little faster, but this is okay. All right, so do I want to do this? Just a quick note, I do change everything around, so don't glue anything unless you really like the layout. Over that, I like. It's bringing out that color palette at the bottom. Yes, I do like. Just a little bit crooked there. Let me pull this out a little bit. And what I do is I lay this stuff out the way I'm going to want it. I take a picture and then I come back and glue everything in place. think I like the way that's kind of folding over there. I'll put that out of frame. Okay. Okay, I like that there. Okay, let's see what else we got. We got this vintage music paper. Looks like it might be heavy on one side. Everything's going to be on this side, but we'll see. I do like that. Or I actually made this little doily. Let's see how this looks instead of this. Here. Nah. And I've got this. Yes. And then I've got this, and I may need some more. And then we've got, I need something up here and something here. Okay, so we're gonna do, let me see, can I do the panties? They're too big. Too big. Too heavy on that side. Okay, I've got this little tatted butterfly. That might work there, but I think I need something under there. So I need a little piece of, let's see, I've got this leftover stuff. Let's see what happens. Maybe if I pinch this together and put a little button on it. Yeah, that could work. Okay, and then this is gonna go here. I like it. Okay, so let's see. This was going to be a little tiny thing to tie around that. So let me try this. I think I'm just going to tie it because I think this is going to be too small to make a bow. You can't see the butterflies. Let me move that somewhere else. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, so now I have this little label, little 75-cent label. Maybe we can go up here. And let's see, I need something else to put here. Let me see if I'm going to do this pink bow. I do like it. I need to make another bow with this one. I may have to do a double bow. Let me see what happens. I am not good at making bows with my fingers. I've seen so many people doing it, but I just cannot do it. I am going to need my bow maker. That's in my toolkit. Oh my gosh, seriously? Okay, I give up. I'm going to wait till I get my toolkit back and make a nice pretty bow with my bow maker. Let me just see how the color looks. I don't know, y'all. I think I like that pink better. Yeah, I think this might be too loud. Maybe, I don't know if it's too loud or if it's too small. So I'm going to have to play with that one. Okay, y'all. I think I'm doing the pink. I can't make up my mind. I think the pink. The pink is going to bring this background out. Okay, so that's my layout. I feel like I still need to put something here. So, I need like a little vintage label or something. Well, that's cute right there. That's really cute. Okay, I'm going to stop right here in case I mess this up. I'm going to take a photo and I'm going to start gluing this stuff back down when I get my stuff back from the store. So just so you'll know, I end up changing this entire layout in the next video. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, happy crafting.